the review that I sent you. That way I'll use the exact same one. Could someone be willing to do that?
I will.
Rosio, thank you. Thank you, Rosio.
I'm already sending it.
Okay. Let's see what I have here. So tonight is a really important class, and I would just share with you again that those that don't attend this score 10 points lower. Those that do by video don't score as high as those that do it live, and I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's because some people say they attended it all but didn't do it, and it affects the statistics. It wouldn't seem to me that there should be any kind of a difference whether you watch it in person or watch it on video, but sometimes people have a tendency to um, exaggerate what they do. But anyway, let me look here what I have. I practice on this review, so I'm pretty, I think, good with it. I think so. Let's see what we got here from Rosie. Rosie, was it you that sent it to me, or who ended up sending it to me? The review. Nobody? I don't have it yet.
Rosio.
Rosio, did you send
I'm
it?
working on it. I'm sorry. My phone is being
So someone with a computer, Sharon got it. Thank you. Perfect. 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 Don't worry about Rosie. We got it right here. All right. It's no big deal. We got it. Thank you. Let me mark that down. Who was it that sent me? It was
You're very welcome.
let me give I can guess who it was. Hold on. So it's my friend's friend, I think. Just have to find the right name. Rosie was going to, but it was trying hard on her phone. And I do appreciate that, Rosie. It was Sharon. That's who it was. Is that right?
it was Sharon. I'm sorry. It's been a bit of a rough day. My brain's kind of done.
Yeah, I would think it's me.
Hey, no worries. If we're going to burn it out tonight, that's for sure. Darn it anyway. But look, let me share with you that it's better to have this review than not. I think you all can tell it goes to, I don't know, 21 questions. I will share with you this. The folks that built this exam did not, they sometimes think students go ahead and work ahead. There are 3 questions on this exam that you have not been taught. I will teach those today, this evening, and you will have no problem with them. They are basic questions of related to logarithms, and logarithms are simple once we start learning them. I'll show you the real tricks of them, and it'll make sense. A lot of people don't know how to do that, but it will be good. All right, let me go back to since we have this. Let me go back to my attendance stuff and just mark down who is here and who's not here. Nikki Anderson, are you here?
I'm here.
Man, I got your name right. See? How about
Yay,
that?
thank you.
Yeah, but listen, that guy finally got it. Hunter, are you still around? Hunter Block? Yeah, he is. Hunter, you probably don't need to engage the video because this will be a long one until we start. It's up to you, though. If you could do it, you can do it. Rebecca Cazado, good deal. Rebecca, are you there?
I'm here.
How about Vanessa Cantula? Vanessa, you're here, kind of. All right. I gotcha. And Sharon's here, that's for sure. Sharon, you ever think about going back to Dubai?
Not yet. Not yet.
Really?
No.
Mm.
But my husband may come in the November.
Really?
From Dubai.
Wow, good for him. That'd be great. I bet you'd like that.
I too wish to, but I have work classes and everything. So
I see. Ryan, are you around?
Yes, I'm here.
Good deal. Lexa, my bowling person. Anybody know about Lexa? Gosh, she has not been here. Hmm. How about Marissa Flores? No, Marissa?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. I'm glad. Let me check here. There you are. I got you. Alma Garcia, I think you came in.
Yes, I'm here.
The Gillises. Are any of the Gillises here? I don't think so. They do all their stuff watching. Jordan, are you here? Jordan Guerrero? Jordan. Monica Hickson.
I'm here.
I almost made an appointment with you today. That's how stressful it was. Just teasing. Lillian, are you around?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Good deal. How about Reba?
I'm here.
Hi, Reba.
Hi.
Let's see. Emma Leverett, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. How's your day going?
Man, I'm good today. You doing a lot of vet stuff these days?
I am. We actually amputated a leg the other day.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to hear about that. All right, Rosia, where are you with all those kids? Are you
I'm still
around?
here. I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere.
Are you doing good?
Yeah.
Okay. Indira, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. How about Gabriel Move?
I'm right here. Hello.
Good deal. Gotcha. I noticed that when you guys say you're here, I never really see pictures anymore. Everybody turns their videos off. I wish I could do that. How about Amanda
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Wazenchenko, right?
Yes, that's right.
And that last name is French, isn't it? Or Italian?
Ukraine.
Spanish. That's Spain. That's Amanda Spain, right?
No, I'm Mexican, but my last name is Ukrainian.
I'm just kidding you. How are you doing? Do you have relatives in this mess?
Um, my husband isn't really familiar with all of his like generations too much.
I see.
So
Where are you from?
I'm from here, from Dallas.
All right, good. Wasn't trying to be too invasive. How about Edith? Edith, you around? My teacher?
Yes, I'm here.
The Dylan. Dylan, tell me you're here.
Oh, did you say Dylan?
Yes.
Oh, I'm right here.
All right. Joshua. Joshua Trehu. I'm missing Joshua. And then Holly. Holly, are you there?
I'm here.
Good deal. Holly, you've never what? Oh, you missed a couple. You had a string there. Erica Whitehead.
I'm here.
How are those? What do you have? Did you have what? How many kids I have you down here for? What? Three,
Three.
4, 5, 7?
Just three. I have an 18-year-old and 13-year-old twins.
Good for you. All right. So now you guys, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to conduct the review. And I'm going to go over all the problems on the exam to include those 3 questions that you have not had. You're going to say, well, how? I mean, I don't get it either. But they say, well, Dr. Wick, it distinguishes those students that work ahead. Yeah, it's the next chapter. We're not supposed to test the next chapter. They said, well, they're basic rules. We always want our students to look ahead. But I said, we aren't testing ahead. So anyway, I'm going to go over those so you don't get them wrong. Are you all okay with that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Sounds good to
You
me.
guys, I will show you almost exactly how to do them. There'll be one that will be a little bit brainy on your part, but you'll be fine, I think.
Appreciate it.
So now, before I do that, I want to go to the test. And I think it's already there, but let's check. It's been kind of a challenge for some folks and me especially to make sure that it was open to you guys. Let me go to it. See once. Can you guys see it now? Can you see the eCampus menu page here on the left?
Yes.
Okay, so you see the midterm exam. It says you can't see it. It's got a line through it. Let me see what I can do to change that. And while I'm changing this, I want you guys to tell me when you would like to have this test due. Now, you got to be within reason because most people mm, mm, don't get a chance to take the test but one day. And I'm going to give you 2 attempts. Can you see the board in front of you now?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, do you see the display that has the calendar on it now? The computers and the clocks?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So today is the 12th. I'm going to open this test up. I'm going to say now. I'll do it now so we can see if it's there. So right now it's at 8. We'll just say 8 p.m. Hold on. And when would you guys like this thing due? It's going to be 10 p.m. whatever night we pick. Because I
Maybe like the 25th.
Either like a Saturday or Sunday is perfect.
so look, today is the 12th. It's Wednesday. Let's look at maybe your next class is when? Monday? Isn't that right?
Yes. Yes.
So let's make this thing due Sunday, the 16th. That gives you 4 days, not tonight, we're not counting tonight, but technically 4 days to do it. Does that seem fair?
Yes, sir.
I'd hope you guys would say yes because the other
Yes.
students, they got to come back and take the test like on Thursday, and that's it. All right, let's see if what happens here. See if it worked. Look here. Show link. Show link. Come on, show it. Nope, that didn't work. So there must be another little thing up here. Edit the exam. We got to make those dates and times sink in. So this is going to be, you said 8 o'clock tonight.
It's on September.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Thank you. No wonder why. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking it's not
Did it-
October.
golly.
October page, isn't it?
So we got to go to October. And let me get this back. We talked the 16th, didn't we? I thought I had. That's still not right. It's 12. There we go. And we got 8 p.m. And this should be 10 p.m. All right, let's see if that helps. Probably won't. Maybe it will. Yeah, it opened up the exam. So now look, I want someone to give me an aim, and I don't want everybody to do, but here's what your exam is going to look like. And I'm going to send you a memo to this effect. You're going to click on the exam, boom. It's going to tell you have 6 hours, which I've already built the whole thing. It's going to give you multiple attempts. You get 2 attempts. And let me share with you, I would do the 2 attempts. And here's when I click on it, here's what you're going to get. These are the questions. They're going to look a lot like what you have, and you'll be able to see these right now if you wanted to. So I'm not doing anything that. Here are the questions that are hard ones. This is the log one. I'll show you that. There's some more log ones. Here's another log one. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to do every one of these questions in front of you, every one of them, but with just a little bit difference, except for 20. I'm going to give you the exact same one in 20. And you know why I'm going to do that? Does anybody know?
We haven't learned it.
No, it's a good guess though. I do it as a test. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you the exact answer, and I want to see how many people get it wrong. And I like those.
Oh, okay.
Very evil, you know. I want to see who has it, because nobody should get it wrong. But you know who will get it wrong? Those who don't attend the review, I think. All right, we're back in this. Did anybody confirm they can get in?
I have a question, Dr. Wickman. Do we get to keep the highest grade from the 2 attempts? Is that how that
Well,
works?
who is speaking here?
Rocio.
Rosio, in your case, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I will do that for everybody.
We can get
It's
in.
not up yet.
Okay, good. Huh? Would you say, Lillian?
It hasn't popped up yet on my sidebar.
Did you have to get refresh?
Yeah, I have about 5 times already, and it still hasn't popped up. Maybe I'll check it tomorrow
Wait.
and see if it
No,
does.
no. Well, you should be able to click on that little icon, and the test should show up, Lillian.
Yeah, no, like
There's
Exit
a
out,
little
go back to
refresh.
Lillian.
There's a little refresh button on that menu at the very top, right above the 2022 essay math. If you
Got
click
it.
that, it'll
Thank you
pop
so
up.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're back in business, and we're going to start the exam review. Now, I'll be using primarily the whiteboard, a little bit of the computer. Ooh, I forgot about the computer. What the heck was that all about? Let's see if I can get my my little guy here was sleeping from before. Okay, so let me go back, see if we can find you guys again.
I
There
have
we
a
are.
question.
Yes, Holly.
We're allowed to use the calculator, right?
No, you can't. You can't use a calculator, and you got to do the test with a special monitor from the school. And no, Holly, you can. I'm just kidding you. Yeah, you should. You should use the calculator. That's for sure. Now, who I need 2 people to help me here. One person to be my fact checker. The fact checker will go to the last page of the test and of the review, and you should have an answer key. Everybody should. 1 through 21. Does everybody have that?
Yeah, we
Yep.
have it.
Would anybody be willing to be my fact checker, that after I do every problem, you go back and check and say, yeah, that's good?
I can do it.
Rosio, you got that? Now
No,
I need
that wasn't me.
Lillian.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, Lillian, I got you in for that. Now I need someone else to make sure that I stay on track and do the right one. And if somebody has a question, you got to be my eyes and ears, because I don't see it. Once I start this review, I turn on all my screens and they turn off all the people's got their hands up and stuff like that. So who would be willing to do that?
I can do that.
Sharon, okay, you got that. Now I'm going to start. Are there any questions? I will send you out a memo. I'll try to do it tonight. That will tell you exactly what we said, that you get 2 chances, the date it's due, how to access it, and just a reminder, because there might be a couple folks that don't come tonight. So are we all clear on that? Sharon, I hear a lot of stuff in the background. You got to mute yourself. Can't have that stuff. Sharon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go. So is everybody okay with that? You understand? I'll send that memo out tonight, I think. Certainly by tomorrow. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's gonna tell you the test is due when?
The 16th.
Sunday.
At what time?
10 p.m.
And look, I get to monitor that. If someone hops on that test at about 8:30 Sunday night, I see that. It's kind of weird, but I do. So hopefully it won't be you. Take advantage of all the time you have. All right, enough of that stuff. Let's go right to the brass tacks here, what we're supposed to be. You should be able to see the test now. The first one is 12x squared plus 23x plus 10. I'm going to work this for you. It's going to look like this. This is number one. It's 12x squared. It's plus 23x. And it's plus 10 equals 0. You bring down your 12x squared. This is the flow method. You bring down the 10. You say something times something equals, and it's the first number times the last, which is 120. And something, those same two numbers, added together equal 23. That's the middle term. The two numbers that do that are 15 and 8. I happen to have done this problem about 6 times in the last 2 days, so that was easy for me to guess. So this stands for a plus 15x here. This stands for plus 8x here, and then you still have your plus 10. The next step is grouping. I can factor out of the first one a 3 and an x. Remember, this is 15. And to get the 12x squared, I'd put 4x. And to get the 15, I'd put 4x plus what?
5.
Plus 5, that's correct. And then I have 4x on the left. I have to have it on the right. What do I have to multiply 5 by to get to 10? It's 2. I can test it. 2 times 4x gives me 8x. So my factors are 3x plus 2, 4x plus 5. My zeros or factors are, you take the 3, put it underneath the 2, change the sign. Take the 4, put underneath the 5, and change the sign. And the other part is 0, like this. Based on that, the answer should be, and the order doesn't necessarily have to be the same. This is D.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you, Jamie. Appreciate that. All right. Let's go to the next one. Man, I really like this class. You guys are a good class. I think everybody is super. I hope this is the highest scoring class in all of Dallas College. We got a good chance. We've got all the right things going for us. All right, so I'm going to erase this. So if there's no questions, boom, we're done. Second one. I won't always go back to the text, but I will this time, just to get you guys familiar with what's going on. So the next one is to do number 2, but it requires use of the quadratic formula. Well, I'm going to write the quadratic formula down for you so you can do it. And I'll use the whiteboard. And then we'll plug it in. So first of all, number 2 says you have x squared minus 6x plus 25, and that equals 0. So the number in front of the x is your a, and that's equal to 1 because there's 1 in front of the x squared. The b is the middle one, which is -6. And the c is equal to the 25. That's an equal sign here. Now, the quadratic formula is given as a -b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we got to just simply plug in the parts of the puzzle. So the -b makes that 6 because the -6 is 6, plus or minus the square root of b squared. That's going to give you, b squared is going to give you 36, minus 4ac, 4 times a is 1, times c is 100. So it's minus 100 all over 2a. Excuse me, 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2a is 1 is 2. So I'm going to divide the square root of 36 minus 100. That's going to give me 6 plus or minus the square root of -64 all over 2. I'm going to do the -64. The -64 is actually this. It's going to give you 6 plus or minus the square root of inside be 64 and a -1 all over 2a, which is 2. It's gonna give you 6 plus or minus 8, and the -1 is I squared. Now you're gonna say, I get the 8, square root of 64. How do you get the I squared? Remember, I is equal to I squared is equal to a -1. I cubed is equal to a -I. Well, I don't know what that was. And then I to the 4th power is equal to 1. Okay, so now in finishing this, and I've noticed I have a couple little bad parts here. I didn't finish this is all over 2. That's going to give you 3 plus or minus 4 square roots of I. Or excuse me, square root of I squared is I. Let me write that down again. 3 plus or minus 4i. Now, the book gives them in different orders. It shows them separately, but based on that, the answer is B.
Yes, that is correct.
All right, now C is supposed to be the hardest one on the test. I'm going to make it easier for you guys. So again, just to keep us going in the right direction, I'm going to show us C or 3. And in number 3, you have, they want us to solve a radical that is kind of complex. Let's go again to the whiteboard. I'm trying to do everything I can to make it so you have, I just don't want to talk it through, but some I might, because they're that simple. So number 3 says you have the square root of 1 plus 8 times the square root of x equals 1 plus the square root of x. Now, the rule is, that's the square root, pretty good one there. Now I made it better. The rule is if you square one side, you have to square the other, but if you square something, you get whatever's inside. So if we square this on this side, we get whatever's inside, which would give you 1 plus 8 square roots of x. If we square the other side, like this, that means you have 1 plus the square root of x times 1 plus the square root of x. You're going to get 1 plus 2 square roots of x plus x. Now, why is that? We're going to take 1 plus the square root of x, since it's squared, times 1 plus the square root of x. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times this gives you a square root of x. This gives you a square root of x. And the square root of x times the square root of x gives you x. That gives you 1 plus 2 square roots of x plus x. And that's what you see here. Now, we can use rules. Whatever you do to the left, we can do to the right. I'm going to get rid of this one here and get rid of this one right here. If I get rid of that one here, I can get rid of the one on the other side. If I have 8 square roots of x here and 2 in here, I can subtract 2. What does that mean? I'm going to end up with 6 square roots of x equals x, because that's all that's left. We canceled this. We canceled this. We subtracted 2 from the right and 2 from the left. We get this. Now, the next thing is I want to get x by itself. Sharon, can you put your thing on mute? So I'm going to square this side. And if you square the left, you got to square the right. But that way we'll get rid of the root. We'll get 36x equals x squared. I'm going to push this to the other side. That's going to give me 0. This is equal to x squared minus 36x. I'm going to factor out an x, which is going to give me x minus 36. To make it equal to 0, this has to be a 0, or this has to be 36. My answers are 0 or 36. And I believe on the test, that would be equal to A, or on the review is A.
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to do number 4. Well, thought I was. I guess it wants me to show you the book again for some reason. Or no, it doesn't want, does it? Oh, wait. What the heck happened here? Something disappeared. There we go, back. It came back. Number 4, this is an absolute value problem. Now, let me explain this again. I know we've had it before, but let me make it simpler again. If I say the absolute value of x is equal to 5, what can go in here is plus or minus 5. And that'll give you 5. Now, our problem is almost like that. But what we have instead is the absolute value of x plus 2 is equal to 5. So it changes a little bit because we added x plus 2. So the rules are, you set up like this, x plus 2 equals 5, and or x plus 2 equals a negative 5. Because it's always plus or minus. Reba, can you mute your Reba? All right. So once we have it like this, life is good. I want to get x by itself, so then x is equal to 3 here, because you subtract 2 on the left, you subtract 2 on the right. If we subtract 2 on the left, the next side, we have x then equals negative 7. My answers are going to be negative 7 and 3. They show it, I believe, in set builder notation. No, interval notation. Negative 7 and 3. Yeah, they show it in both. Anyway, it looks like this. And so this problem is number 4. And this answer is number A.
Yes, that is right.
Thanks, Reba. Now, let's look at, we're going to look at number 5, but first, let's do it. Number 5 says this. It says graph this. -7, comma 9. Now notice these are brackets. So if it's a bracket in the interval notation, it's a bracket on the graph. So the graph has to look like this. Here's 9, boom. And then you have a -7 over here, boom. And of course you have 0 somewhere in here. Now, -7 with a bracket means it includes -7 as your answer. So whatever this is here, it has to look just like it on the graph. Well, let's take a look and see if it does. I mean, it's almost giving you the answer from my perspective. So look, the parentheses means it does not include it, but there's no parentheses in number 5. So any with parentheses are no bueno. You got to find one with both brackets, and there's only one, and it's B. We good?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Let's look at 6. 6 wants us to graph this. Now, notice that it is a greater than sign, so there's no brackets. None. So without even taking this, you could eliminate B and C. The question is, what is the answer? Is it A or is it D? Well, we just do it. Again, this one is not hard. This is number 6. You have 5x plus 6. Is greater than 4x plus 12. So I want to get x by itself, and you always want to keep your x's positive. So I'm going to get rid of 4 of them on this side. I'm going to get rid of 4 of them on this side. Now I have x plus 6 is greater than 12.
X greater than 6.
X plus 6 is greater than 12, right? Are we okay so far? And then I want to get the 6 by itself. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. I'm going to have x is greater than 6 like this for the answer. Now we have to graph it. But look, if x is greater than 6, this is our graph. This is 0. This is 6. If it's greater than it, we just do this and an arrow and boom. So the only one that it could possibly be, it goes in infinity. So it'd be 6 like this, positive infinity like that. I say the answer is D.
Yes.
And let's look too to see if we're right. Put this on hold here. I'm working all these problems instead of just explaining them because I think it's better for you to see it. But there you see the answer, greater than 6. You might say, well, what about A? A is you added it wrong. A gives you 18. Now, the inverse problem. You see the problem there. They just want you to solve it. We have this in class, but you may not remember it. The inverse problem of number 7 is f of x equals the square root of x minus 8. What does f of x really equal, class?
Y.
So y equals the square root of x minus 8. Now, if you remember the inverse, you simply switch the x and the y. And then you try to get y by itself. Well, we switch them now. The x is where the y is, and the y is where the x is. So we're going to square this side. You get whatever's inside, y minus 8. Whatever you do to the left, you got to do the right, so it gives you x squared. Now I'm going to rewrite it like this for easiness. I have y minus 8 equals x squared. I just wrote them the opposite. You can switch the left with the right. I'm going to put the 8 on the other side to get y by itself. Y equals x squared. I have to add 8, because if you get rid of it on the left, you have to add 8, but you have to add 8 to the right then. Now, Sharon, you got to put your thing on mute, okay? So now the next step is what? You're really technically done, except for you have to use the f of -1 function. So for y, since it's inverse, you write f of -1. I want to make sure I write it right here correctly too. Of x, that stands as the inverse, is equal to x squared plus 8. Based on that, the answer is D.
Yes.
All right, good deal. So now we're going to go to the next problem. Let's look at it on our board here. Number 8. In order to do number 8, you have to have the distance formula. So the distance formula, which you should write down, this is problem number 8. We're going pretty good because it's only going to go to 21. Is the distance formula says you have inside the square root x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. The points that we're dealing with are 2, -5. That's an ordered pair. And I'm going to call this x1, y1. And the other ordered pair is 6, -3. I'm going to call this x sub 2 and y sub 2. Now, the first thing is we're going to plug it into the formula. You have x sub 2, in this case, you can see it's going to be x sub 2 minus x sub 1, 6 minus 2. I didn't even make that note here. So that's going to be 4 squared. I guess I figured it out. And then you have plus, again, the formula right here says y sub 2, that's -3, minus -5, that means plus 2 squared. That looks like this. That boils to 16 plus 2 is the square root of 20. The square root of 20 is equal to the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. The distance then equals 2 times the square root of 5. Based on all that, I get C as my answer. C.
Yes, that's right.
Now, Lillian, thank you. Number 9 looks really, really hard. It's really, really easy. They made it look hard. Let me see if I can do that. Let's go back here. Number 9 looks like you have a lot of stuff. It's ordered pair. I mean, I'm rewriting all these problems. You have it in front of you, but again, I think it's good for you to see this. So I'm going to write it out again. You have an ordered pair for number 9. 2 of them. You have 5 square roots of 3 and 9 square roots of 6. The second ordered pair is 8 square roots of 3 and 12 square roots of 6. And the formula says this. The formula says they want to know the midpoint. So the midpoint formula equals x sub 1 plus x sub 2 divided by 2. So x sub 1, and that's the x part of it. So you have 5 plus 8, which is what? 13 square roots of 3 divided by 2. Y says you add x1, and this is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. And so 5 and 8 gives you 13. The next part of this ordered pair here is y sub 1 plus y sub 2 divided by 2. So that means you have 9 and 12, which is 21. Square roots of what? 6. That's that. I don't know if that looks correct.
The one is missing.
Yeah, it's right there. It didn't come out. And this is all over 2.
Y by 2.
And so the answer for that, for number 9, based on is D.
Yes, sir, that's right.
All right, let's go to number 10. Number 10 is harder. Number 10 is probably the second hardest problem on the exam. The number 3 was considered first. So number 10, we want to complete the square for a circle. Before I get into number 10, let's look at the problem. Wait, I better do this first. Well, maybe I can. Let's see. Is it back up? Yeah. So here we go. Number 10 looks like this. Number 10 shows you have the equation x squared plus y squared plus 4x plus 10y equals 7. And you got to get it look like A, B, C, or D. It's got to be in squares because that tells you how the circle is. Now, let me, and we had this one day in class when you all were sleeping, but let's go over it quickly again. I was just kidding. Only 2 were sleeping. X squared plus y squared plus 4x plus 10y equals 7. Now, in order to complete the square, we want to put the x's together and find out what we're missing. So we put x squared plus 4x. And notice we don't have the other part of the puzzle here. So we're going to add something. Then we have plus y squared plus 10y plus something to complete that square equals 7. Now, if we added 2 things on the left, we have to add 2 things on the right. So what completes the square on the left is always going to be half of the middle term. That's going to be x plus 2 squared. If you multiply it out, you're going to get x squared plus 4x, and then you're going to be adding 4 because 2 times 2 is 4. That completes the square and allows it, but if you add 4 left, you have to add it on the right. Plus half of 10 is 5, so you're going to put y plus 5 squared. When you multiply that out, you're technically adding 25 because 5 times 5 is 25. So all this is equal to 36. So this is the equation we're looking for. The 0 is whatever makes this factor 0, which is -2. Whatever makes the y plus 5 is 0, is -5. So that's the center of the circle. The radius, this is the center. The radius is the square root of 36. And it works out where that would be then 6 equals r. Based on all that, for 10, this is C.
Yes.
Now, this is much harder than 11. 11, they give you this. They say f of x, which we know is y, equals x plus 3 squared plus 8. Now, I would share with you, you should graph these problems, but this one is just too simple. And that will be simple in the test. Whatever makes this factor 0 is your vertex. So if x is -3, what is y in this case?
8.
Yeah, of course, because x, if 3 minus 3 squared is 0, then this is your y equals 8. So this is your vertex. The answer for this is D.
Yes, that is correct.
Now, I'm going to do, you guys need a 2-minute break here or something? Are you guys good? You all good?
I'm okay.
Ken?
I'm good.
Well, I guess, I don't know if I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. All right, so let's go to 12. Twelve is a calculator problem for us. Why? Because, well, it wouldn't be for me, but it would be for most people. Because look, here's why it wouldn't be. You have a -3x squared plus 3x minus 3. It's a square, so it only can be a parabola, something that looks like either B or C. A is a cube and D is a cube because it has two movements, two different heads, two different vertexes. One is a maximum, one is a minimum. Now, how do I know what's the difference between B and C? It has a negative in front. With the -3, it means it doesn't hold water. The answer is obviously B, 12B. But for those who are non-believers, let's take a look at, not that. Let me clean that up. Let's look at our calculator. We're going to put this in our calculator because I want you guys to realize we do have purpose for this thing here, more than once, of course. See if I have it on here. Okay, so I'm going to go to y equals. We're going to graph this. And of course, it's not the one that's in there. I'm going to put the one that's in there, which is a negative. That's this here, -3x, upper arrow, be 1 squared. I got to push it out of my calculator. Plus 3x. And then I've got to write -3 and graph it. And you'll be able to see it now looks like B. It's exactly B. So that's how I do 12. Any questions about that one?
No, sir.
Good, thank you. I mean, that's just too simple. Let's go now. Let's go to the whiteboard. I'm going to do the division problem. You have the division problem presented to you for number 13. 13 says you have 4m cubed plus I got that fixed pretty good. 21m squared minus 42m and then plus 49. And we're going to divide all of this by m plus 7. This is using long division. You only want to focus on the m right here. So what do you have to multiply m to get 4m cubed? That would be 4m squared. So you put 4m squared, you multiply it out, you get 4m cubed, because you take the 4m squared times the m, but you also have to find times the 7, which gives you 28m squared. Because 7 times 4m squared gives you 28. You change the sign because you're shrinking it. That gives you now negative 7m squared minus 42m plus 49. And all I did was bring this down and bring this down. Now, again, I want to focus on the 7m squared. What do I have to multiply m by to get 7m squared? And it's negative. It'll be negative 7m. So negative 7m times m gives you negative 7m squared, because you want it to match, because you're going to change the sign. And then a negative 7 times 7 gives you a minus 49m. Change the sign. That gives you 7m plus the 49 you bring down. What do you have to multiply this thing again by to get the 7m? And it's just 7. Positive. So 7 times m gives you 7m. 7 times 7 gives you 49. You change the sign. Negative, negative, 0 remainder. So the answer is right up above here. Boom. That answer, according to your little book here on this review, is D. Lillian, we good?
Yes, sorry, I was looking at sorry, you said 13. Yes, D.
All right, so let's go to the next one. They want us to use synthetic division. So in using synthetic division for this problem, you have to understand you're just putting the numbers in and no x's. So again, I'm going to work this one because I think that most people here know how to do it, but they might like to see it. Because every one of these problems you all are going to get. So for number 14, you have 4m cubed plus 21m squared minus 42m plus 49. And all this is divided by m plus 7. Now, when you set this up in synthetic division,
Are we
yeah.
Are we doing the same problem from 13?
No, we're doing 14. Oh, my bad. Thank you for catching. That's what you're supposed to do, is get me. Like, yeah, I get tired and let me fix that real quick. Jeez. Thank you. You're so kind, Lillian. You said, hey, Dr. Wick, get your head out of your, keep your head upright or something. Thank you for kindness. I do. 14 is, let me try it again, x to the 4th minus 3x cubed plus x squared plus 4x. And that made me remind me of something else. Minus 5. In synthetic division, every position must be accounted for. So notice you have a 4, a 3, a 2, and technically there's a 1 here. So they're all accounted for. So the leading coefficient of the x4 is 1. Negative 3 is of the cubed. 1 is of the square. 4 is of the x with the 1. Then you have a negative 5. And all of this is divided by whatever makes this 0. Of course, that's 1. If that was x plus 1, it'd be a negative 1. You bring down the 1. Take 1 times 1. you get 1. Add these two up here, -3 and 1, you get -2. 1 times -2 is -2. Add them, you get -1. 1 times -1 is a -1. Add them up, you get 3. And then 1 times 3 is 3. Add them up, you get -2. So now this is the remainder, and you shrunk it, so this becomes 1x cubed minus 2x squared minus 1x plus 3 with the remainder of a -2 over x minus 1. Now, they show it without the r here. They just put a negative in front of it. But this is the right way it is normally done. But the book leaves out the r and just puts the negative in front. Or the test does. Based on all this, the answer is B. Are you guys good okay?
Yes, that is correct.
Now, number 15 and number 16, you need to pay attention because they are easy, but you have to make them easy. You can make them really hard by not paying attention because they're not hard. But if someone doesn't have the class, they're not possible. They're hard. Here's what I mean. We're going to go to 15. It says f of x, and we all know f of x is equal to y. Is equal to 6x to the 6 minus 10x5 plus x to the 4 minus 3x squared plus 20. Now, Descartes' rule says the number of positive possible zeros, that's what we're looking for possible zeros. It doesn't necessarily mean it's exactly, but it's telling you how to determine it. I'll sneeze here, I think. It depends on the number of sign changes that you see. So this is a positive here because it's 6x is 6. The next one's a negative. The next one's a positive. This is a negative, and this is a positive. How many sign changes are there?
Four? Five?
There
Sorry.
are 4. Yeah, there are 4 changes, but plus to minus is 1. Minus to plus is 2. This is 3. This is 4. Now, the rule is, these are your positive changes. They are either the 4 or they must decrease in increments of 2. So the answer to this for the positive ones is 4, 2, or 0. Now for the negative ones, I'm going to write it again. Now, for the negative ones, you have to inject -1 into the x. Or you could do it over here, all these. Now, if you put a -1 in 6, it has no effect. It's still positive. If you put a -1 into the x5, you have a negative there because but it's a negative, so that makes it a plus. Then you put it over in this one, a negative in there, it has no effect. It's still positive. You put a negative on here, you get x squared. Let's see, is that an x squared? -3x, it doesn't seem right. Did I do something wrong there? Oh, that's a cube. You put a negative in here, it makes it positive, and you still have the positive at the end. How many sign changes do you have here?
None.
Anybody? Who's anonymous?
0.
Yeah, there's none. So the number of zeros for this particular equation are either 4, 2, or 0. They're all positive and no negative ones. Based on that, the answer is A. Who's my anonymous person so I can give you credit?
Me, Marissa.
Who's me?
I said 0, Marissa.
Marissa. Let me see if I got you in here somewhere. I'll make sure I give you credit. Did I already count you in today?
I believe so.
Let me check. Marissa, last name?
Flores.
Yeah, I got you. Good deal. I just want to make sure. I don't want to miss anybody. Okay, so that's 15. Moving on. 16. It says find the horizontal asymptote if any of this graph. Or those equations, this function. So let me give you the 3 rules, and maybe you can tell me the answer. And all you got to do is tell me the answer if you understand the rules. So there are 3 possibilities. If the exponent, let's say x of 1, matches the exponent of the bottom one, and there is a negative 4 here and a 5 here, it's simply the leading coefficient over leading coefficient, which is negative 4/5. And that is if they are the same exponent, same exponent. Now, what if you have it like this? X sub 1 over x sub 2, where the numerator, that's your 1, is less than the denominator, that's your 2. Then it equals the x line. That's like in your graph, it's your x. So it's simply the x. Let's say you have this, x sub 2, or we'll say 3 over x sub 2, where the numerator is greater than the denominator. There is none. Now, in your problem, what would the answer be then?
B.
Absolutely, it's B. Because the numerator exponent and the denominator exponent are the same. Therefore, it's simply the numbers in front. You need those 3 rules. That was 16. Let's look at 17. 17 gives you an inequality. It wants you to solve it. You don't remember this, but we had this as a problem. And you got to identify the points. And then you're supposed to do test points. So first of all, we got to find the points. Let me share with you how we'll do that. Number 17. I don't like that. Number 17 says you have x over x plus 2, and it's greater than 0. So in order to find the points on the graph, and we're going to find 2 points, we're going to have 3 sections of the line to consider. The sections have to be parentheses because it's a greater than sign here. And it has to be greater than 0, whatever the solution is. So to find the first solution, we simply say x is greater than 0. So if this is on the graph, we'll make this 0 right here. X is greater than it means all this stuff that goes to the right. All we did was to take the numerator and set it over to the right to the denominator, or excuse me, to the right. X is greater than 0. Now, the other one, we have to use the denominator. And we say then x plus 2 is greater than 0. Now, when we subtract 2 from the left, we have to subtract it from the right. It changes the direction of this. Why? Because it involved a negative number. To get rid of this, we had to subtract 2. Whatever you do left, you got to do the right. So now x is less than negative 2. It looks like this. Based on this problem, the answer is B. The only thing you got to remember is do the top part like this. Then when you do the bottom part, you switch it when you add the negatives. Does that make sense? Are we good on that one, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Number 18 is one of the hardest problems, but we're going to make it the easiest. 18 says this. 18 says f of x equals e to the x. Okay, then it says we don't care about that. We want to know, how do you get g of x equals a negative e to the x? And you guys are saying, I never seen anything like that before. Well, you did, but you didn't know you did. It's on your calculator. We are simply going to use our calculator. What is g of x really equal to, class?
Why?
So we got to graph y of negative e of x and just see what it looks like. Let's go to the calculator and find this stuff. I mean, this is going to be just too easy. You just have to write down where it is. So I'm going to turn my calculator on. Clear this up. We're going to go to the graph, y equals. Now, the question says, graph the g of x equals negative e to the x. So here's our negative. Right there, it shows up. In my calculator, I have to put the negative sign in first. Now look here, right above right above ln is e to the what? Yeah, I need a microscope to see it, but what does it say? Can you see my arrow?
E to the x.
Yes. So we're going to do, but it's in the blue area, so we got to do second, and we get e to the x. We got to put the x up there, though, and push it out. There it is. We hit second, hit this right here. Now, x could be anything. Could put 2, 3, 4, but it says to the x. We're going to graph it. So everybody see how I got that? Are there any questions? Because this is the easiest problem if you know how to get there.
Yes, I got it.
And I want everybody here to get the highest score possible and to get 2 tries. So we're going to do this. And boom. Which graph does it look like? Well, duh. There's only one it really looks like. You just got to compare it to the test. And it's too obvious. Looks like B. You can look at the other pages. They don't go up. None of them go up. Our answer goes like B. So for 18, it's B. Lillian, amen? Somebody?
Yes, that's right.
Right now, we are at the last three, which I built in this review because they were surprises on the test. Now, I'm going to take them in a special order. The first order I'm going to do is 19. Now, I'm going to explain this so that not only are you able to do the test question, but I want you to understand the concept. There are 4 major rules in logs. They want you to know 3 of them. And number 19 is probably the simplest. Maybe the simplest is 21. 19 is pretty close. It says you have log, base 3, 9 equals 2. And they want you to change this to exponential form. That means they want to get rid of the log. Now, what this problem really says is, if you have log 3, the base never changes. The only thing that changes when you go from log to exponential is these 2 pieces of the puzzle, which means now 3 squared equals 9. I mean, it's just too simple. The base never changes, so the base is still 3 squared equals. I mean, I don't know how to tell you this any easier. I don't think anybody here cannot get that one right. Everybody would know that 3 squared is 9. The only thing you're changing is the 2 and the 9. And so since we're going from log to exponential, you don't have log here anymore. This is log form. This is exponential form because it's got an exponent. Is that too easy?
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
so
too
the
easy.
answer is what, B?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, so now we're going to go to the next easiest one. I'm skipping 20 for all those out there that want to ping me. I'm going to 21. And I deserve to be pinged sometimes, there's no doubt about it. But this time, I know what I'm doing. So we have 21. 21 says you have log, and there's no base here. It just says x, and then it says minus 2. Now, on the side, if something doesn't have a base, what is the base?
We pretend.
Yes, it would be base. If it's not known, it's a tan. So, but we won't need that here yet. Now, they want you to use the power rule. So 21 says rewrite this using the power rule. The power rule says all you got to do is take this and push this up front. Now, they don't tell you to use the power rule, but what they say is rewrite it using a different form or simplify it or expand it. So this now becomes -2 log
X.
base 10 x. So the answer for 21 is A. So all you got to do is take the -2, put it in front of the log, and you've expanded it. Are we good there?
Yes.
Okay, now a little bit of a harder one. 20. Not much though. There are 2 rules. One rule is the product rule, and the other one is the quotient. Now, the quotient rule, let me just share it with this. If I have x cubed over x, the quotient rule in logs is just like this. To get the answer, we get x2. How do we get x2? If we have 3 in the top and 1 in the bottom, you subtract them and you get x2. Boom, x2. So the quotient rule is subtraction. You subtract the top from the bottom. And you do here. 3 minus 1 is 2. Now let's explain it for the problem. The problem is 20. You have log, and then you have an x and a 10. Well, clearly this is division because it's x divided by 10. Now you can rewrite this as log x minus log 10. Now remember, there's no exponent. Well, what's log 10, 10? Think about this. If it doesn't have a base, what is the base? What did we say the base was here?
10.
So this is really log 10, 10. And what's 10 over 10? 1.
0.
1.
Yeah, anything over itself is 1. So this comes out to be log x minus what?
1.
1.
Yeah, 1. Yeah, 1. Because 10, this is not showing, but it's 10 because it's not showing. So the answer for 20 is A. All right, you guys, that's it. That's the entire review. Let me just check one thing here. Let me just go back to my roll just to see who I might have gained, if anybody. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody. Alma, can you put your mute on? Alma? There you go. Thank you. All right. So let me just check to see if some folks didn't make it. If I don't call your name, I got you. Is Lexa Fernandez here? No. How about the Gillises? No. Jordan, are you here? Jordan. Think, do I have everybody else? Oh, Joshua, are you here yet? Trejo. So Hunter, Josh will probably need the film because he does attend most stuff. He's my fisherman guy, and he had a good score. So, are there any final questions on me, y'all? Everybody else I can see you guys' names. Any questions?
I'm good.
So I'm going to send you out the guidance tonight. The test is already open, and whatever you do, I would not try the test tonight. I mean, it's what? I mean, get some rest. It's after 9 o'clock. You get 2 tries, and you got until Sunday. Man, I'd enjoy my life. But you can do whatever you want. It's open. I'll just share with you, though, that folks that jump into it, you might do better if you didn't. But anyway, any final questions to me? You guys are a good group. Questions?
No.
No, sir. Thank you so much.
Well,
No,
I
thank
tried
you.
my-
Good night.
I hope my last
have a
thing is
good night.
I sure hope you guys feel like the review was worthwhile.
Yes.
Most students think the
It
reviews are
definitely was.
Yes, thank you.
Good night.
okay. As long as you all feel like the review is good, I'll do it for the next group. Have a good night. Good night.
So can we do the test in 2 sessions? Like
Yeah.
take a break and then resume it again? And
But it has to be within 6 hours, Sharon.
okay.
You could probably go out and play tennis and come back.
Sure. Thank you.
No, Sunday at 10. Sunday, 10 p.m. Hunter. I'll send a message out. All right, you guys. Man, everybody's dropping off. See you later. See you later. Bye-bye.
You have a wonderful day.
How are you,
Thank you.
Mom? Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Very real appreciate it. Sharon, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank you, Monica. Everybody's dropping out. Very good. Good night.